Meditation is like a gym in which you develop the powerful mental muscles of calm and insight.
The main catalyst for me wanting to start meditation was this one night in particular where my stress and anxiety had gotten so bad that I physically thought I was going to die. I did not know in that moment that my body could have lived through that moment, because the stress and just the feeling of just intense dread on my heart literally made me believe that I was going to pass away that night and I'd resign myself to death. Granted, this is probably a very extreme example of what some of the modern elements, the very negative modern elements of society can bring to us nowadays, but I think it's probably something that you've all felt at least a little bit of, and maybe even more than what I have felt. And so I started getting into meditation, and I've heard for years about the benefits, the supposed benefits, as I thought at the time, of what meditation could be. And so I decided to download this app called Headspace, which I heard about probably countless times on YouTube and through ads and through maybe even some family members and friends talking about it. And so I downloaded this app. I think I paid $12 a month for it, which is quite reasonable if you look at the benefit that it can do to your life. And I was going to try it out for 2 weeks to see if it would actually work and kind of record my progress and just record the general thoughts that I had as I used the platform. And to be honest, it's probably one of the best choices I've ever done in terms of surrounding myself with media that is supporting the kind of life that I want to live and being able to allow me to be my best self. So the app is very easy to use. There's a subscription, so obviously you do pay something a month, but the app is very positive and there's multiple different facets of what it can do for you. So mainly I use the meditation ones. I go through some of the daily ones that it gives me, as well as maybe even some of the workouts. So obviously there's nothing powerlifting related, bodybuilding related. It's more so general moving, yoga stuff, some HIIT, cardio focused exercises to help maybe lower some of the stress that's present in our brains in today's society. But overall, a lot of good stuff for just anyone who wants to pursue some general fitness. The main brunt of what I focused on was all of the meditation stuff. So I picked the courses that are dealing with, I think it was, I don't know the exact word they used, but generally it's desires and addictions. For me, a lot of it was just negative thought patterns that have to be canceled out, and a lot of it was relationship stuff too that I also had to work out in my mind so I could be okay with living in the present. Mindfulness is such a powerful tool that we all need to use more of nowadays. You are always planning for the next big thing, the next event to happen in our lives, the next milestone, that you lose the moments, you lose what makes the moment good, you lose all the enjoyment that is derived from living in the moment, being in the moment, and being present. And so that's what I found myself in. I was constantly worrying about my future relationship, I was constantly worrying about my future business, my future career, that I literally had lost all joy in my life and had been overwhelmed with panic that was unbearable. So it was really hard for me to initially start meditating because just being quiet was really hard. With being present and allowing your body to slow down was almost impossible for me at the time, that it just truly didn't work out for the first few days. But as soon as I started going through it more and more often, I think I was doing 2 sessions a day, averaging 2 sessions a day for the most part, I noticed the joy that I would feel when I ended it. You know, a lot of it involves allowing your body to breathe regulated and constantly thinking about the breathing and how you feel in the moment, how your body feels in the moment. And by doing that, even for 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day, I noticed myself just being a lot more there in real life situations. When I was talking to people, I was enjoying the moment, not planning on how I was going to get out of it or planning my future move in this day. I was enjoying everything that made the moment good. And a lot of comfort came from this. A lot of comfort, a lot of pleasure came from doing this. And I started noticing things about myself and things about my thought patterns that weren't terribly positive. And so I noticed just an extreme amount of being grounded throughout my whole day. I noticed I was enjoying the moments a lot more than I used to in the past. I noticed that I was a lot more calm than I also used to be in the past as well too. And I think that in today's society, we are surrounded by these super negative elements that constantly reinforce these terrible thought patterns in our brains that lead us to panic, lead us to despair, and increase our overall anxiety to a point where I don't think we can truly handle it without finding a way to cope. And a lot of people cope in drugs, they cope in pornography, they cope in terrible relationships that aren't good for them. I think that the meditation is probably one of the most wholesome, along with prayer, one of the most wholesome ways that one can cope in today's society. And just opening yourself up to the possibility of that it can get better, even if it's a little bit stressful to commit to something every day. And the meditation sessions start at like 5 minutes for most of them. I've seen even like 1 minute ones too, that can help you stay focused. It does allow you to be a lot more there in the moment. And so along with that, you know, they talk about in all the videos about the different elements that you need to apply to your life. They talk about the various thought patterns, how our brains work, and what we can do daily wise, and just overall make habits to destroy, delete the negative thought patterns that were there to begin with. And so I found a lot of closure, a lot of confidence with these apps, because I was on a path to something better, a path that I think everyone needs a little bit of part of in their life to live their overall best life. And for me, the results were crazy, and I plan on doing this for honestly the rest of my life if I can. So I use Headspace. You guys can look stuff up on YouTube, but I think overall the ideas of meditation are something that we all need a little bit of. And instead of falling back to drugs, porn, sex, bad relationships, we can fall back into something that is a lot more wholesome and a lot more beneficial to our souls and to our physical and mental health as a whole. So I'm going to be talking more about meditation in the future for sure, but this is just kind of a brief little video that I want to put out to kind of share my thoughts on the matter, as well as talk about what I felt too as well. So I hope you guys have a great day. Please like and subscribe. There are some massive videos coming in the future, some cool videos with Jacob, and I hope you guys have a great night.